welcome to another episode of Diva Court. I'm your host, Marsha Mignot, and with me is my cray, annoying co-diva.
You just loud as hell today.
Dana Smith.
What it do?
What is loud is the outfit, okay?
Is it loud though? I didn't even put on no hot pink shoes this time. You know what's loud? That lipstick.
No, what's loud is them shoes.
These is cute. These is cute. I like them.
Okay, so she comes with a disclaimer. Anybody who's been watching this show
is
long
correct.
enough knows that she comes with a disclaimer. But her name is Dana Smith, government names, so that you control that direction, people. We are not responsible for the things we're going to talk about because we don't own those topics, nor do we want to purchase them. Because this show is for edutainment purposes only. Let me tell you something, listeners. Find us every week. Okay, Fireman Bill, you just going to interrupt? She went Saturday Night Live, Fireman Bill.
Let me tell you,
okay?
that's not Saturday Night Live. Oh my gosh, it's a living color.
Oh, that too.
It ain't that too.
That too. Because they all moved from A Living Colors to Saturday Night Live.
He ain't never was on Saturday Night Live.
But please look for our episodes every Wednesday. Before I was rudely interrupted, find us on
Spotify,
Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Be sure to catch our videos every Wednesday when we push them out for you real good. So you can see all this plaid she picked.
It's not plaid. It's
herringbone.
No, it's not herringbone.
Oh, wow. What is it? Ugly bone?
It's
Busy bone.
it's hound scotch.
Hound scotch.
Or scotch hound.
I miss my Uncle Charles.
It sounds something like that. Hound scotch.
Houndstooth?
Hounds, something like that.
Houndstooth. Okay.
Yeah. Or Lexus.
How about just ugly?
What is this called? It's not, girl. Speak for yourself, honey. I'm
How
giving
about
it
just
life.
ugly?
It doesn't. What is it called?
Listeners, you can tell.
Houndstooth.
Who?
Houndstooth. Yes. As usual, the producer coming through.
Houndstooth.
Correct.
Yes.
No wonder it looks like dog tooth.
That's not
I
where you
don't
should
like
went.
it.
Way
Houndstooth.
better joke.
It looks like a houndstooth.
Way better joke. That's why it looked like dog shit. That would have been a good one.
Oh, look at
Home
you
run.
with your cussing.
Home run.
Look at you with your cussing.
Hey, I don't listen
Can
to
we
any
get
comments.
back on track?
No.
Roll this show back.
No.
Get back on the track.
Yes. Let's track it.
Track it
it all the way to the settlement. Listeners, P. Diddy has been sued by Cassie, his former girlfriend, and the action was filed against him for sexual assault and sexual trafficking. What's your take? Okay, before you take, let's talk about that.
You know it's about
Before
to go
she takes, let's talk about the law. Okay, so in the state of New York, they have opened up the civil statute of limitations.
Right.
And they are giving an opportunity to alleged victims to bring a civil action within a short 1 year period. So we're going to open up the statute and we're going to allow you within this 1 year to file any lawsuit you deem necessary based on what you've experienced if you were a victim of sexual assault. Okay, that's a full mouth. So this young lady who was dating Puff Daddy, according to the alleged complaint, she was sexually abused, she was psychologically abused, and she was a prisoner, and that when she ran away,
Allegedly.
sounds R. Kelly-ish, doesn't it? It sounds very R. Kelly-ish. I wonder if her attorney looked at R. Kelly's complaint before he drafted his complaint, because a lot of the allegations sound very similar. I know that it could be that R. Kelly's conduct and Puff Daddy's conduct, if you're alleging sexual assault or sexual trafficking or psychological abuse, is going to mimic each other.
So, question. When you say R. Kelly's complaint, are you talking about an old lawsuit? Because he went to jail.
Right. So his was criminal.
Right. So,
but Puff Daddy is
are you talking about just
civil.
the charges?
Just
the
the
charges.
allegations.
Okay, the allegations.
Yeah,
Okay.
the allegations smell very similar. And my biggest concern with this is, let's peel this onion, because it really is an onion and it has layers. Let's talk about the legal perspective, because Diva Court is Diva and Court.
Well, can I go in before
No,
you get
you don't
legal?
get to go in first. We're going to talk about the
You
law
might
first.
you might take away my choo-choo train. Like, I feel like I should say everything possible, right, wrong, or indifferent, and then you come in and you correct it all.
All right. Well, she's going to
Let
give
her
her
be
take.
wrong.
Let
and
me
then
be
teach
wrong.
her.
She's going to be wrong, and then I'm going to fix it.
First of all, there was only one time that I thought I was wrong, but I
And you
actually
really
was
were.
right. Okay. So with that being said, let's take it in. First of all, I smell an opportunity because she's an opportunist. Let's go there, okay? And you know what? I was initially like team Cassidy, what's her name? Cassie, whatever her name is.
I don't know
Cassandra,
if
but
you
she
were
goes
on
by
the
Cassie.
team
I was
if you
team.
can't say her name.
Team players usually know each other's names.
Well, there's.
So I guess she's
I was team woman. You know what I'm
We played
saying?
for the San Francisco.
What's their name?
Shut up. I was
48ers.
I was team woman. I was team woman. When I heard about the
The allegations.
allegations, but I thought the allegations were accompanied with
Criminal
a
charges.
criminal, right? A criminal
so after they locked him
investigation,
up, or a criminal investigation is
or
going
while
on
it was happening,
simultaneously.
right? Because in my head, I'm thinking, file the criminal charges. You can file a criminal charge and a civil lawsuit at the same time. You'll still be in the statute of limitations. They just might put a stay on your civil case until the criminal case is settled. But at least you will at least be in the time frame to have your civil case heard. But when I hear that you didn't file criminal charges, then it makes me think, oh, you an opportunist. So if he's all of these things that you allege in this complaint, a sex trafficker, a rapist, run a train, come on, ride that train, and ride it. If he's all of those things, you still got this dude out here. You didn't go to the DA and pour out your heart and say these are the things, and I wouldn't want no other woman to go through it. It's giving a little Harvey Weinstein. You know what I'm saying? All the women who laid on the couch and one after another, and then later on you want to complain about it. Like, I'm not really feeling her. I think she's an opportunist. I don't think she's a victim. I feel it's a money grab. I'm going to just be honest with you.
Well, you have to understand.
I don't
that
want to understand.
Victims will suppress their victimization, especially when victims meet their sexual assaulter.
I thought you were about to say their hairstylist.
Offender.
Their alleged sexual assaulter.
Their hairstylist and who said, girl, you better get that money.
So the idea came from the hairstylist. Okay, so
I
here's the
know,
thing.
because I be telling them that all the time. Girl, let me tell you who a good lawyer is. This is what you do. This is that legal, non-legal advice. This is who
The
you talk
legal,
to.
non-legal?
Yeah, the
Okay,
legal, non-legal.
okay.
This who
Thank you for
talk
giving
to.
the non-legal.
The legal, non-legal.
The non-legal
The
advice.
legal, non-legal,
Okay,
legal.
he, according to the complaint, I've never seen a complaint that comes with a red label warning, first of all. So, lawyer, you did that, whatever that was. And according to the complaint, 2005, P. Diddy met this young lady. She was supposed to be 19, which is still an adult. Let's not go there. This is not child abuse. And he's 30-something, 35 or whatever. And that he signs her to his label. Now he's her boss. I thought the talent was the boss for the label. I didn't realize the label was the boss for the talent.
The label is the pimp and the talent is the horse.
Wow.
It's just that simple.
That's bad.
Yeah,
That's
it's
really
pretty-
bad. But, you know, that's not my industry. It's not my genre.
Like Google is the company and their workers are the.
But if she's 19.
That was a sympathy laugh because it wasn't funny. Go ahead.
Wow. Oh, it sounded like it was very funny now.
No, my joke was funny.
Sound like it was very funny.
Leave the jokes to the talent, honey.
Okay.
You just be the pimp and let us hold it out.
Finally, one I can laugh at.
See how I did that?
No.
He needs to just leave the jokes
you
to the
didn't do
funnies.
that.
To the
Okay.
funnies.
So back to what I was saying before. I was so rudely, funnily interrupted. 2005, she meets Puff Daddy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's 19, he's 30-something. He's a star. She wants to be a star. Young women at that age are very impressionable. And when somebody's desperate to get a career in the music industry, you have to be careful with leaving them alone when they're at a teenage age. If she was older and maybe 25, north of 25. Okay, let's put it this way. If she was over car rental age. Because in these here United States, Hertz and Dollar and all these other car rental places don't like to give you their vehicle to drive unless you're 25 or older. So let's assume.
Objection.
Are you objecting with an order?
I'm objecting.
I'm sorry, that's not an objection.
I'm objecting to the age relevance in this particular.
Okay, let me tell you why the age relevance is important. Because when you're 19, you really don't know that.
No, they do know.
No, they don't. They don't know.
Listen, you know why they know?
They act like they know a lot.
No.
But they really don't know a lot.
No. They know. First of all, when they're like 14, 15, they're already having sex. When they, by the time they get, hold on, let me roll. When they're 14 and 15, they already having sex. By the time, now they're thinking about, I need a guy with a car so he can drive me around. So they're already dating up to date guys with vehicles and can take them out to eat and all of these things, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't have parents who are watching you.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my point.
Right. But by the time you're 19 and you're an adult, you already know that sex equals getting something. You know, it's already. They already
but
know.
you have to couple that. You can't look at it in a vacuum. You have to couple that with I'm young, I'm impressionable, and I want to be a star. So it's a perfect storm for a young lady like that to get in a situation where, okay, this guy's famous, this guy's wealthy, I want to be a star, so there's things I got to do. And these things I might do
that
them.
You want to do.
No, have to do. And then when I do them and I don't like them, and I've decided, you know what? I tried
She knew what she liked and what she didn't like by the time she was 19. She already know.
No.
So
I'm not saying that she doesn't know right from wrong. Because let's get clear, listeners. If she were being tried by a court,
she would be
and
guilty.
they do a psychological evaluation of her.
Right.
They would come back and say she is fit to stand trial because she has been evaluated and she does not suffer from any type of mental illness.
Correct.
Therefore, she's competent to stand trial. She knows right from wrong.
All right.
So my point is not that a 19-year-old has not been taught or should not know right from wrong.
So what's your point?
My point is that a wealthy 35-year-old or 30-something-year-old that has this much control and you're looking for a career and you have no parental
But that's not her situation. She came from a family that had a little coin.
Let me tell you something. Even R. Kelly's victim had a family that dropped off their child and signed over.
But she wasn't dropped off.
Hold on. That was worse because this kid was under 19 and underage.
She is 19, so she wasn't underage.
My analogy
is
to show you that the 19-year-old who has parents doesn't matter because in R. Kelly's situation, there were 14, 15, and 16-year-olds.
But that's a false equivalency. She's 19.
No, that's a good equivalency because my point is the parents. You're trying to say because she had parents that had some coins that she cannot be a victim.
No. What I'm saying is because she came from a basic household. She had supervision. It wasn't like she was downtrodden and she was, not raised with a two-family household and she's looking for a father figure. It's not this story. It's not the story of the girl who was doing what she had to do to survive. It wasn't this girl. It was a girl who made choices that probably was already having sex, and she said, hey, I can have sex for more money. And maybe not in that mindset of I'm having sex for money, but if I would do it with no money, Joe Blow, why not, elevate my life?
Okay.
And maybe it started off like that, and then she found herself into a tunnel.
But my point is this, that if the person starts off volunteering to do something, and they decide, you know what, this is not for me. I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
I don't think they should be forced into continuing to do it.
Oh, you just leave.
And the allegations were that she was forced. And when she left, Puff Daddy's team members, and this is a complaint, listener, so go pull the complaint for yourself because it's out there, and which is what I like. I like to look at the actual document. But the complaint is alleging that when she would leave or try to leave, his entourage of people would go back and get her and tell her, you better come back or it's going to be some bad consequences.
So how she escaped this last time?
You know what? This is not in the complaint.
Who was the
Hold
Moses
on.
that saved her?
No, you know what's
Who
not
was
in the
her Harriet
complaint?
Tubman?
You know what's not in the complaint?
What?
How she escaped.
Because they did say she escaped.
They said she escaped.
But why they didn't pull her back this time?
Finally escaped. But the issue becomes, how did she escape?
I know.
That was left out.
The content in the complaint was just so salacious. It was just adjective
salacious.
over adjective over adjective. So salacious. There's no real facts.
Well, here's what we don't know.
If it was
Did
factual.
she show a video to her lawyers? And did her lawyers show a video to his lawyers?
Is
Because-
that what's the out? Is that
No. They're making the allegation, but in the P. Diddy case, there was settlement negotiations that were taking place before the complaint was filed.
Right.
So I want the listeners to know that cases don't settle 2-3 days after a complaint is
Right.
filed. Cases who settle that quickly are cases that were already in a lengthy negotiation process. And they probably could not reach an agreement regarding the dollar amount or what the terms would say. Say, for example, Puff Daddy said, look, if I'm going to give this kind of money, it has to be confidential. You can't talk about it anymore.
Well,
she might say, well, I want to tell my story because I want to be.
she was writing a book.
That's my point. She might want to be able to tell.
She has a book deal already.
No, but even if she has a book
They
deal
have to shut
already,
it down.
she might
That's
have
probably
to
what
shut
it was. You don't want me to write this book. The sales that I'm gonna get from this book is what you should pay me. So here's the
That's
calculation.
part of negotiation.
Yeah.
So my point is, if she's getting ready to write a book and she says, I will not write this book, but you've got to pay me for what
You
I've
see
been
how
through.
this is an opportunist hypothetical.
Well, I mean, you could consider it a money grab. You
Yeah.
can consider it a money grab because now that the case has settled within days of the complaint being filed, no one knows what the true story is. Because remember, P. Diddy didn't get his day in court.
but here's the thing.
But he chose not to have his day in court.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. And nowadays, everybody just goes off of the
The allegation.
right.
That
So
alone can
at the
ruin
end of
you.
the day, like everything that he was stopping from happening is still out there. Just because we don't have the itty gritty details.
No, because you can't substantiate
And then the complaint is it's public.
It could be worse. It could
I
always.
Yeah, there could be more.
But the
It could be.
complaint is public.
Let me tell you what would be
Stop
worse:
there.
the actual video.
I-
If
No.
she is, and let me
It-
tell you something:
it doesn't
photos,
matter.
no, actual videos or a photo
No.
could make this situation. Because right now he could still say, "Look, I just settled because it was in my best interest. I just settled because it was." Nobody has any evidence that the allegations are true.
But
nor
but
will
your
they ever.
reputation is still kind of tarnished because
No,
you
not
were
necessarily, 'cause
accused
you
of
You're still rich.
trap.
You still
traffic.
rich.
Still
You still
powerful.
can defend it.
You're
You
still
still
the man.
powerful.
Trafficking.
People will still do business with him.
Okay, so I have a question for you. So it is known that P. Diddy is good for having people sign NDAs, right? How does an NDA play in this,
You can't NDA a crime.
Yeah, you cannot.
I know, but there's allegations of, but this is in civil. So
No,
this
no,
is
no.
not.
If
so-
you cannot tell somebody you're signing an agreement to not tell about a crime.
No matter what type of crime.
Yeah, I don't care.
okay.
You can't do that. So you can't have an NDA to say, look, I'm a sexual assault you every Tuesday. You sign right here that you agree to that.
That's not how you would write it.
and,
You would say
so-
you leaving, and you ain't
um,
gonna talk about none of the sexual
And you will
assault.
not tell anybody that this is what we're gonna do.
So why would he be having people sign NDAs? Because he have people sign
Well, you
NDAs
have to
when he
remember
goes to
that-
parties.
that-
It's still
there's
a
a lot.
tactic. It's still a tactic.
Right.
Right.
When
So,
you think
so
about
they're
it,
not so they're not going to hold up legally in a court.
What do you
the
mean?
NDA?
So when he has
If you're
the
doing
parties,
illegal things.
like let's say smoking cocaine.
Well, I'm saying, let's just say
Or do you,
you
smoke
have.
cocaine? I don't know. Is that crack?
Hey,
Let's do
She don't
let's do
sniff her
something that's a
cocaine.
little
She
more
smokes it.
I don't know.
that's a little more
know.
legal. Let's say it's a sex party.
Right. And everybody is
And
consenting.
everybody is
consenting
consented.
adults.
And they
you
said,
can't come out
hey,
and say it.
don't talk about the fact we're having a sex party and that we had all these people in here but booty naked.
Okay.
Can't do
That's
it.
when an NDA triggers because
Or you took pictures. Don't
Or you took pictures and you said you
don't
wouldn't
don't
take
use
pictures.
it. You can't.
Yes.
You can't.
All
do it.
right, so let's play this out. Let's say he didn't settle, and he went to court moving forward with this civil lawsuit, right? Because these are criminal charges.
No.
Civil
These
charges.
are civil.
No,
this
no,
is
no.
a civil case.
They're
Criminal-
alleging
no.
criminal activity.
The allegations.
Correct.
Yeah, they're alleging.
In order to
criminal
trigger
activity.
this civil suit, you have to allege that this criminal act took
right?
place.
Okay. You guys set the foundation. Great, you got the wording together.
Yes.
We're on the same page. That's what I was thinking. I just didn't say it accurately.
Okay, now that we helped you.
Now that we are on the same page, because these are alleged criminal activities. Wouldn't his lawyer just like shut the civil case down because, you know what I'm saying, he hasn't been found guilty in a court of law?
Well, it makes sense to shut them down because you're trying to express to your client that if you let this lawsuit go further, it might lead to a criminal investigation that you cannot withstand the scrutiny of. So it's only money. It's not a lot of money. Give it up and move on because you know you spent that on bottles last month. So let's stop playing games because it can ruin your future because there's certain people once it come out, even if they want to do business with you, not going to be able to touch you because you're going to be like kryptonite. So clean companies, clean record companies, clean commercials,
Clean
products.
record- clean record
Clean
companies.
meaning.
That's like saying pig is clean.
Well, the pig when it's bathed.
It's still
record
unclean.
company. It's still a pig, but it's
still
clean.
unclean.
So my point is this. If his lawyer looks at this civil suit and says, look, buddy, if you let it, whether true or not, we now live in cancel culture. They will cancel your money. You know the lifestyle you like to live.
I'm talking about, let's say they push it forward. In your motion for summary judgment, what would you argue is what I'm saying,
The
hypothetically.
problem you have is summary judgments cannot be argued if there are genuine issues of material fact. There are genuine issues of material facts at the gate. She's saying I got sexual assaulted. He's saying you did not.
Okay.
That's something for a jury to decide.
Okay.
If genuine issues of material fact don't exist when you say we both were wearing black and white, then judge, why are we trying it? The jury don't have to decide if we were in black and white. We agree.
Okay.
The parties have to agree on it, and the evidence in the case has to show that that is exactly what it is. So he would not get past a summary judgment.
would a judge hear a case that has criminality in it prior to him having these charges fighting?
Yeah, if
against the
no
charges?
criminal charges come against you, it doesn't matter. A judge hearing a civil case can't look at it and start trying to gate and goalie, you understand, and block criminal charges.
I think
No,
that's
that's
not
not
her
what I'm
question.
asking.
I think I can answer it.
Okay.
Yes, because it's a part of the civil statute. He has to look at the criminal statute in order to make a determination if you were successful in the civil statute. So, but he doesn't have to go beyond a reasonable doubt on your criminal
Right, he has
statute.
to go preponderance of the evidence.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, I guess what I'm saying is, this case can still be heard even though it hasn't been.
Yeah, because
talking about
the
the civil
statute
case?
is
Yeah,
civil.
the full case could
Yeah,
could
the
happen.
criminal is just the trigger for the civil. Does it make sense?
No, I get that, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that because so we're in depositions and you're asking me questions where I can't really defend myself.
Yeah,
because
well,
they're
you
gonna
can
box
plead the
me
fifth.
in.
Yeah.
No, you can always plead
still
the
No,
plead
fifth.
I
the fifth.
understand that, but what I'm saying is that I guess it's just it doesn't seem fair for the person who's being accused of criminal activity to fight a lawsuit in a civil court where you could possibly be boxed in.
Every case has the potential for you to be possibly boxed in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because remember, you can be, for example, you remember the former attorney general, the state's attorney, she's gotten arrested. It was a civil case. She was forging her finances and in COVID, trying to get COVID money. And that was civil. That was all civil, but it ended up where she's convicted. So every civil matter has the potential for criminal conduct to surface because something you might have done as simple as, well, I changed the dollar amount on my salary, or I gave one fake pay stub because I wanted my income to just come up a little bit. All of that is civil, and you wouldn't know about it until you get to it. So there's no there until the there is there. As it pertains to civil, you don't protect from criminal. Like all civil case, every civil case.
I see a lottery ticket in my future.
Oh, you about to accuse somebody falsely?
Yes, I am.
But
Don't record
so
this.
the other thing you have to think about
next to
is
somebody. I'm gonna just get next to him. I don't have to talk to him. I'm just gonna take a picture. Like
it leads to the two things, right? It leads to two things that need to be highlighted.
we not even have to go to court. I could just he ain't gonna know. We was all drinking and high-ing it up.
Number one, it's used for people who truly, like, there are good people who use this statute, right? So there are people
So there
who
are
are
good people on both sides.
assaulted
Yes.
by priests or whatever.
Right. And time has passed.
And time has passed, and
it's
they
real.
finally confronted it with themselves and said, no, that should be, I
Dealt
should
with.
receive some kind of,
Well, in this case, the time hasn't passed. There's no statute that says that she couldn't have filed a criminal.
well, she's not the one
charges
who's
against her.
filing criminal.
Or
it has
she
to be
could. She
filed.
could have went.
She
to the-
could've
She
done
could
a
have went to the
report.
DA and made a
Well,
report.
the reason why that's difficult is because then she has to prove where it was located, like where the action actually took place. And if the actions
Well,
took
she
place
don't remember because she was so high or drunk.
between state lines or
She
whatever,
was forced to take drugs.
She can't go to the federal
Allegedly.
state of
I'm
the
just
not
saying,
the
if-
attorney general
if
maybe
things-
not the state
do you think
not the state's attorney.
do you
What's
think
the,
the
other one?
the feds were too busy trying to get
What's the other one?
Yeah, they're busy
R.
with
Kelly
Trump.
on a RICO?
Yeah, they Rico and Kelly, and they tying up Trump. They're busy.
They were
They
busy.
can't take on
They
another
cannot
star
take
No,
on
why?
another one.
because the Illuminati's after
Too
them.
much.
So I'm just saying.
Something with the Illuminati.
Too
huh?
much.
I'm just saying.
know.
There's a reason why, or a reason for not necessarily
There has to be a legal strategy
going
associated with it.
that way.
You think
with
they're gonna file criminal charges against them?
Who?
it. No.
New York?
No.
Yeah.
New York already come out and said they're not doing no investigation. TMZ reported that New York police is investigating, and New York came out and said, no, we're not investigating.
Yeah, because there's no.
They're there.
No, there's no. It has to be specific to New York. Like New York can't charge you for a crime that you did in Ohio.
That's why again it's giving money grab.
Well, I'm saying it's difficult because they're saying trafficking.
Sex
and you
trafficking
can't
is a
traffic.
federal case.
Yes, and they need to find real sex traffickers,
Yes.
meaning who are trafficking
they exist.
hundreds of people.
They exist. Bringing them
Hundreds
from
of people.
foreign countries,
Yeah.
tying
Right.
them up in houses.
So what I'm trying to say is, it's
mean-
not that the one individual doesn't matter. I'm just trying to stress that the difficulty of getting you and your one case with the one person who could have possibly sex trafficked you and moved you from state to state, across state
Right.
lines, drugged you, done all this for one person, weighed
When-
against someone who is affecting 100, 150 people, your investigation is going to take a little bit of a backseat till we catch all
not
the
only that, all the photos where you posing with your abuser. With
No, that doesn't matter. There's plenty of
no.
people
But
who
my
do that.
point though is when law enforcement is looking into something like this, those are the things they're weighing. What is the evidence? And remember, that's evidence. I mean, people talk about allegations as if the accuser is
Right.
not going to defend themselves.
Right.
I mean, that's how Johnny Depp won, was bringing out the pictures of his ex-wife who said she was abused the next day in a dress, a low cut back dress, and said this is her the day after she claimed she
Right.
was beaten up and cut up, and she's in the picture with nothing on there, no bruises, no black eye,
That's
no
why I
nothing.
respect Johnny Depp and knew Amber was an opportunist. I'm just gonna say that.
Well, the problem you have is you can't seek revenge because you have to pay for it when you lose, and she lost.
That's the only thing. It's not that anybody is trying to, like, the problem with these laws is the law is trying to solve a problem, and it is. And the real issue is the lack of knowledge and the rush to judgment of the court of the public.
I just
opinion.
got in the wrong field because I after,
Wait,
After I just
wait.
say, the
Wait.
issue is the court of public opinion. You like
Rushing to
what I
judgment. She
should've
said, "I should have been rushing to judgment."
No,
That's the career
no,
I
no,
need.
No, I should have been a young girl who was impressionable.
you. The problem. The
'Cause
problem
by the
you'll
time
find.
I was like 27, I
You'd
could
had
have
some
had
money.
30 million.
The problem you'll find is
I
there's
have
plenty of
millions.
those who've actually been hurt who aren't gonna get no
That's true.
cash.
Well,
That's
I
true.
would have made sure that I had a good record. You know that
gotta
you
take
would
the
remember my
pictures?
name.
So that's not part of the setup.
I would have played. I'd have played the whole game.
All right,
over
Monica
there.
Lewinsky, keeping the dress.
Keeping the dress. I'd have played the whole game.
I'm
That's
keeping the
a
dress.
lottery ticket. Like 10 years of just being sexually,
this is a special
used
thing.
like a, what did you call it? Like a, what do you call them? A blow up doll. You know what I'm saying?
That's a dial.
Doll. Shut up.
A dial.
That's my country accent.
Oh, that's a country.
That's my country
Blow up
accent.
dial.
A blow up dial.
Detroit country.
10 years. That's not really a hard, you know what I'm
10-year
saying?
relationship?
That's not a hard life.
What do you?
She is saying that it was difficult for her, and assuming argument.
She was on drugs. She don't know.
Assuming
She was
her
drunk.
argument
Wait, no.
was
What do you
true.
mean? You can find out the
Because
side effects of what
she
happened
was
after
drinking.
you come to
She
reality.
said
You
she
can
was
wake up.
drinking.
Remember this?
I was drinking.
said in the
I
complaint,
was drinking.
he recorded some of these sexual escapades.
I know. I mean,
I don't
that's
think
part
her
of-
lawyer would have said she recorded them if
That's
she
part
did
of-
not have recordings.
That's part of the.
He recorded it.
That's
He's no the lawyer.
The lawyer for her
alleged
said
that P
Diddy
Diddy
has it. Yeah.
recorded
Yeah.
some of these sexual.
what I'm saying.
escapades.
Is that's all part of the job.
What job?
Do you know how many sex workers are not making that much money? If they just would have.
Do you know how many are?
I know. So what
Hello.
I'm saying is that she took on a position that she signed up for a sex worker.
That's not what she signed up for.
She did because
She did not.
Could have
You're
left.
taking
She just
a
said-
huge assumption that we'd like to say allegedly.
I did not do that. She is saying I'm a
No, she
victim.
did.
Or
of
let's just
P.
be more
Diddy.
specific. Diva Court does not associate with
correct.
any of the comments that Tina.
That's correct. Remember, I started the show with that. We are not responsible for the things she's going to say.
You can't sue me because I ain't got no money.
I'm broke. You can't sue me because I'm broke, okay?
So I think that's the last subject I wanted
All
to get
my
on.
stuff is in trust.
No,
So
And I
they've-
trust that you will
But
not
here-
find
here's
it
the
because
thing.
there ain't nothing
Well,
there.
I just want us to touch this before we leave the subject, which is the reason why this law took place. This little, open
Open Pandora's box
Yeah.
because it is Pandora's
this,
box.
this open session of bring your cases now
Right.
or never bring them again is because they extended the statute of limitations on civil
Whores
sexual
should sue their
misconduct
pimps now.
for 20 to 20 years.
Can you find him? He's in
Sue
jail.
their pimps.
No, but if they open the statute, my concern regarding that is whether that would be fair or not. Because if you're opening the statute to everyone, I could see if you did an investigation like with the Catholic Church and you find that, oh my God, this is not hundreds, this is thousands. In that situation, I find that, yeah, you got to do that. That's a lot of people that actually got
Will it only be open to the Catholic Church, or it's
not
still
necessarily.
open to everybody?
I would. That's my problem. It would be based on the number. You understand? If I got limited resources, because this is real world. If I have limited resources and I don't have a taxpayer's unlimited checkbook that I could just keep going back. Excuse me, I'm raising your taxes because I'd like to investigate this. Excuse me, I'm raising your taxes because I'd like to investigate that. If I don't have unlimited resources and I'm actually trying to do the greatest good for the greatest number, my money is better spent where I have more than one alleged
Are we talking
victim.
about the criminal aspect or the civil aspect?
I'm talking about the criminal because civil don't have nothing to do with a prosecutor.
Wait, he's talking about the
I'm
civil.
talking about the civil.
He's talking about the civil.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm more focused on the criminal aspect.
Well,
and
well,
here's
They
why.
didn't expand the criminal.
No,
And
they didn't
They're
expand-
not planning on
I don't think they're
expanding
going nowhere. They got the money, and she said, "My family and I are moving on."
No,
No,
you're
no.
missing the point.
that. The state legislature is not going to expand any
To
of
the
the
criminal.
statutes to the criminal.
No. Come on now. You got a Supreme Court to answer to. Are you serious?
No, but I'm.
Due
No,
process?
He said, wait.
No, for the state legislators to open up the
No,
statute.
you're
Wait,
missing.
wait,
you're
wait.
missing the point.
He was talking about the civil statute was opened up for a year.
No, okay, Jesus.
No.
All right.
Well, why
I am
don't you
saying
just do the damn
I might as well. I might as well. Do you have
You
some?
know, so maybe it might just be the cinder.
Do you have-
Hello?
It might just be
Do you have some wolf's tooth? Because I come on that side of the camera and show it off.
That's a wolf's tooth.
All right.
Oh, you said
What I'm
something funny.
saying- What I'm saying is
Let me fix.
the reason for the change
your
is
grandma wig.
because they've made a massive expansion to the statute of limitations for civil sexual misconduct. You get 20 years from the event happening to
That's a
file
long
the case
time.
civilly.
That's a long time.
That's what I just said. What are you talking about?
No, you
I said that
you
they
said 1 year.
extended. So what's the 1 year thing?
Because they made that law, everybody said, "What about everybody else?" And they said, "Fine, you get 1 year to bring any civil case."
Well, that's what I just. Oh my gosh!
No,
Hello,
you just
that's
made
what I
me
said.
say that.
I just said that 1 year. They had 1 year to.
Yeah, but you just made me say that.
And then you repeated it.
And
That's
then
what
you were
I
like,
said.
exactly.
Okay, so didn't I say 1 year?
You said, "What did I say?" Exactly. That's what I
it.
said.
Roll them cameras back. That's what I said. I said 1 year.
Listen,
Okay.
how much of that champagne did you already have?
You know what? I'm gonna start drinking because this must be how Cassidy felt. You know what I'm saying?
So now you switching.
Lied to, abused.
So now you on her side.
No, well, only if y'all paying me. I should sue y'all asses. Where the money at, honey?
You just gonna drink to that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so here's the thing.
So do you know what we talking about now?
She settled the case.
Well, do you know what?
She
Do
got
you
her
know what?
check.
Wait.
We're
Do
talking
you
about-
know what?
we're
Civil?
talking
Are we
about-
talking about civil or criminal?
Listen to me.
I don't want to listen.
Listen to me. The problem with this
Listen
civil
to me.
statute,
Okay.
it's intertwined with underlying criminal, what would I call it, hurdles.
Okay.
So it's not a plain old civil statute. Let's not play with each other.
You see how
Because
she
you
tried
have
to
to
clean it up?
allege.
You see,
You have to allege.
You're such an attorney.
You have to allege that you are a victim of a crime
Okay.
to get to your civil lawsuit.
There you go.
So they've intertwined it, and I think it's dangerous
Okay.
because they're now going to be able to do some discovery, and they're going to say, "Judge, we need this discovery to meet our burden to show you that we should be able to go forward on a civil matter if we can't talk about the criminal stuff." So, Mr. P. Diddy, while we're in your deposition, sir, did you video sexual escapades? I can't answer that. Well, you have to answer that because we need to be able to prove that you videoed it so that we can get a hold of the video and we can show the judge that we should be able to proceed civilly. That's a dangerous statute that has the. I would prefer it not be tied to any criminal allegations.
That's what I was saying. See, that's what I be saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, but okay, so what does the judge do? Does the judge, so isn't there an arbitrator or some kind of mediator there to it's just you and the attorney going back and forth?
Your lawyers and
Okay, so if you say, I'm not going to answer that or I plead the fifth.
no, you can plead the fifth.
You
get
plead
to
the
do it.
fifth. The attorney says, no, you have to answer it.
You still can plead the fifth. It doesn't matter.
And then when you go to the judge
can issue an order requiring you to answer the question. If they
so
find,
now you got to testify against yourself.
wait, necessarily, a judge will say, no, they've invoked their Fifth Amendment right. They don't have to testify.
So then now he invokes his fifth,
Right?
and
But
they
the
don't
civil
have,
judge can say your invocation of your Fifth Amendment rights, I'm going to find that they can't meet their burden because you're invoking.
Okay.
So now I'm going to let them go forward with civil case. Let's go. Let the jury decide. Because you're blocking her from meeting a legal burden that she has in order to be able to further her case. So I'm not going to grant your summary judgment because you wouldn't testify. You pled the fifth throughout your entire deposition.
Okay.
So I'm not. You don't have a transcript for me to use to say no. Based on his testimony during his deposition, I find that summary judgment should be granted in this case because there are no genuine issues of material fact. I find that this is a boyfriend girlfriend, and this is just a public breakup. That this case is a public breakup.
Okay.
I don't believe that this person is actually a victim of sexual assault. She may have engaged in some things that she probably regretted later on.
What about when they do the request for production of documents?
Yeah, he could produce them.
You can,
But he can
when
get
they
into criminal
produce them-
conduct
Well, no,
trying to burn them.
let me ask the question. When they say produce this documentation, can he plead the fifth on
No.
producing? All right.
You have to file a motion
A motion
for
for
protection because the court, you can file a motion for protective order.
Okay.
And the judge can give you a protective order saying, hey, you can't get that. That's you just can't
All
get
right. So we go to trial. You have no video.
it. Right?
You have no witness statement.
No. I have a sympathetic victim.
So all you have is a sympathetic victim.
Correct. And she's
Right.
telling her story. And remember, that's evidence.
Preponderance of the evidence.
Well, I
Yeah,
get
the burden
I
is
get
not
that.
beyond a reasonable doubt. So
I
a
get
jury
that.
can just look and say, you know what, I believe her. I believe her. She came across credible because they get to determine, a jury gets to determine the credibility of a witness.
So while and then he can go in on her.
Who?
No,
Cross-examination?
that's
Yeah.
called
Yeah.
sexual assault.
Right, that's cross-examination. But you remember that the Rape Shield statute also protects victims of sexual assault.
Wait, in a civil case? Wait.
Yeah.
In a civil case, you still, but you ain't fine. You ain't. Oh my gosh, that's so unfair.
Yeah, because they don't want. The mindset is you don't want to have a chilling effect on people.
But
that are victims.
Wait, hold on.
The goal
let me just. I understand the goal. Let me just throw this out here. You're telling me that I can understand this when we're in the criminal case. You know what I'm saying? But we now in a civil case, and you ain't filed for, your summary judgment is not granted, and we're moving on with the case. So I'm in tune to talk about this case. So then I can go in on you, boom, 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 boom. You're not guilty, right? Because you haven't gone through the criminal court case. But when it comes to me, who you haven't been proven guilty, you got to be easy on me.
Okay, so let me tell you what the questions are. Oh, you slept with Peter 20 years ago, didn't you? I'm sorry, you can't ask that under the Rape Shield statute because her consensual relationship or consensual sexual relationship with another person.
So just because I say I'm raped, then I'm covered under the rape. Okay, so this is not
you're allowing it to be a little too broad.
Whoa.
You're imagining it a little too broad.
Whoa, fairy tale.
Hold on.
Get it from the movies.
Hold on. This is helping my imaginary case when I take a picture with some star.
It's actually not.
What I'm saying is that I can say
no, you're misunderstanding.
Yes, you're not getting it.
No, I don't think y'all get what I'm saying.
It's not unbridled.
Yes.
It's not unlimited.
No.
It's not, you can't talk about anything.
Yeah.
He can talk about and cross-examine her regarding consensual sexual acts that occurred. And now a jury has to go.
between them.
Between her and P. Diddy. But P. Diddy can't go and find everybody else he knows she had an escapade with. Although, one of her allegations is he made her have sex
what I'm saying.
with hired
if you
male
introduce
prostitutes while he watched.
Right. If you introduce this is what you do, then can I come and say, well, this is what you do?
Well, he would be stupid
No,
to say,
you can't say.
You did that with the Chippendales, and she would say, because you forced me to.
Yeah, you can't.
No.
You can't say this is what you do.
Oh gosh, this is gonna help my case. Pretty much what you're saying is I just need to take a picture, make a claim, and they can't really tell me what I did with anybody else.
No.
And just be sympathetic.
No.
Because what they're gonna just say is we never had intercourse.
We cannot substantiate.
We
your
was
claim.
Drinking.
Ma'am.
He forced me to drink.
Trust me, I've been stone sober.
He forced me to drink.
Look,
He forced me.
You picked the wrong victim.
Forced me to.
Okay.
He forced me to.
All right.
I just gotta take a whole bunch of pictures. That's all.
Take some.
You know who else was forced to drink?
Marjorie Taylor Greene's husband. Listeners, Marjorie Taylor Greene is getting a divorce. We don't know who filed yet, but
I'm gonna go with the husband.
We do.
I'm gonna go with
the
husband.
It is.
Wow.
You know what? It's not.
He was forced to file it. I was right.
In your journey through not family domestic, but I mean I guess it's still domestic. In family court, what's the odds of men filing over women?
Filing divorces?
Yeah.
It's starting to increase.
Okay.
A lot.
So, but
I mean,
usually,
more women file. More women file. Yeah. More women file.
She must.
But they're catching up with the men. They cheating just like they are. They said, I learned that game and I'm going to meet you there. What are you doing at the strip club? What are you doing at the strip club? How you beat me here?
Right.
So, Marjorie Taylor Greene is at the courthouse. Mm-hmm. Her husband said, you can put all that buffoonery out when you're running, but you cannot run home with it. Do not bring that garbage you are selling the American public regarding your job because it's not going to work here. I'm out.
Well, I mean, I'm not surprised that this is happening because in marriages, white women do have an expiration date.
Oh, they do?
They do.
I didn't know that. What is it, their birthday?
The expiration date is the replacement for a new model.
Oh, okay. They trade up.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
They trade in.
The husband trades for new.
Okay. We like a newer model, please.
Right.
1925 years.
Although the whites, they get married a lot quicker
Yes.
and more often.
They get divorced a lot quicker.
They
and more
at a
often.
certain time when she start aging and she already done had the kids.
They're like, thank you for the kids.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.
Now I need some eye candy.
Bye-bye.
I don't know.
Now I need to
Eye
help
candy?
raise the actual kid that I want to marry.
No, what about?
Let me raise her to who I want her to be.
She was the nanny.
At 19.
She was the nanny.
At 19.
I brought her in as the nanny. I brewed her.
Maybe I'll give her a singing deal or something.
and then I will marry her later.
Right.
You remember that actor that did that? Married the daughter that they adopted.
Yes.
I can't remember his name.
Yoko Mono.
No,
No,
that's not.
oh my God.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yoko Uno.
Yoko.
He was with the Beatles.
No.
That's Yoko Ono.
I was right.
No.
I said Yoko Ono.
That's not the right story. There was an actor.
No, the director.
He was a director? I thought he was an actor. He was an actor and a director.
So,
And he married the
Yes.
daughter that they adopted. I think she was Asian, and he married the daughter.
that's what I'm talking about.
But you were talking about the Beatles. It's not the Beatles.
Well, maybe not the Beatles, but the name is the same.
No, the name
It's
is
not
not
the
the
same?
same.
I
It's a
can't keep up
different
with
young
these people.
lady, and he married her.
And it was
So,
his stepdaughter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he adopted. It was adopted.
Adopted daughter.
Yeah, they adopted her. Yeah, they adopted her, and then she became.
I mean,
a
there's no
wife
blood
later.
relation.
It's just messy.
What
ladies
is it?
and gentlemen.
Yoko
So what do you
Ono is
think-
her name.
What do you
Woody
think?
Allen.
Woody
and
Allen.
Yoko
Woody
Ono
Allen.
is not her name.
It's not
What's her
Yoko
name?
Ono.
Please stop.
Who is Yoko Ono? That's John Lennon's wife.
I don't know if they were married, but yes.
Okay, so who is the Asian one that is, not to say they all look alike, but
Sun Yi.
Suni is her name.
okay.
Suni.
Do
is
they
his
look
spouse.
alike?
You remember her?
I will,
She was
I will
young.
come across this
She
table
was young.
and,
pretty
and
sure.
And
beat you up.
she
Asking me
adopted
if
daughter.
two Asian people look alike.
Are they
I
the
will
same
come
type of
over-
Asian?
I will come over this table.
He said, I would get on camera.
Are
And
they
then
the
go to
same?
jail. And then go to jail.
What? Y'all
Okay.
needs to have no
Okay.
issue with me saying that the
So-
white women expire.
So
Are you?
So-
Is this fake outrage that you giving me? Are you from the woke generation?
It's selective, and he will cancel your culture.
Selective.
Yeah, no, she's trying to cancel me. Do they look the same?
No.
Do they have similar
no.
traits?
No, they don't.
They both
They
come
don't. They're
from
individuals.
an Asian background.
That's about
Are
it.
they the same type of Asian?
Just like we both come from nowhere together.
You Jamaican.
That's why we'll never be anywhere together from now on.
You guys in your United Nations.
Marjorie Taylor
Why?
Greene
I'm
is
just
what we're
saying,
talking
like,
about. And
why
her
people get-
husband
why can't they
filed
look alike?
for a divorce. And
I wanna
he
see
says, I've had it, listeners. He's out of there. All right. So before we so you just gonna drink?
Irretrievably.
He said irretrievably.
I'm just
broken.
gonna look at.
He
I'm
don't
want
want to spill the tea. He doesn't want to spill the tea.
No, he didn't. He sealed
don't
all
look
the
alike?
records.
Yeah,
he
he
didn't
said, I
want
don't
any of it
I don't wanna
out
spill the tea.
in
Who
the
are we
public.
talking about?
Marjorie Taylor Greene. Could you stop drinking?
Oh, I thought you were still in the records of not
Could you
telling
stop
us if
drinking?
they look alike.
He's talking about Marjorie's husband.
Oh, okay.
He was a good guy. He said, I don't want to wash your dirty laundry in public, so we'll just do it reconcilable. Please, goodbye. See you later. And how are we going to close the show today? We're going to say happy birthday
To who?
to Joe Biden, our president.
One day closer to death.
Look here. if
That's
Jimmy
for
Carter,
everybody.
if Jimmy Carter can beat brain cancer and outlive his spouse, Rosalind, cheers to Rosalind Carter too. She passed away. To
When
her
did she
family,
pass?
yesterday.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't
Rosalind
know
Carter.
that. Well,
passed.
that's who we should be. I don't know. Is she a good
So,
person?
To her life, the greatness she did as a first lady, and
Did
to
she?
all
What'd
the
she do?
things, and to Joe Biden, I'm just going to
I'm not cheering to Joe Biden.
Cheer-
I know what his life was
Habitat
about.
for
Habitat for Humanity. They build houses in the state of Georgia where you
I will
reside.
cheers to Rosalind.
Wow,
But
wow.
I'm not
We can
cheering
cheers
to
to
Joe
both.
Biden.
Yes.
We can cheers
I'm
to
not.
both.
Okay,
We can
that's
celebrate
Rosalind.
life.
To Rosalind and Joe.
No, no.
Life,
Joe was Obama's
Joe was
vice
a no.
president.
Life,
Joe is a no.
liberty,
Joe's vice
I'm not.
and the
president.
pursuit of happiness.
You should be. I'm
Look
not
here.
even gonna say that.
Come on.
Because then your girl could be. But I ain't gonna say that either.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I drank to that, whether I had to do it by myself.
I just drunk because it was good.
You just drinking all night. That's
I've
what
been
you're doing.
drinking.
We gonna stop?
I've been
Yeah,
drinking.
we're going to shut this
Cut
show
that one
down.
down.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, season 3 is off. Don't miss us because you're going to catch us on
Spotify,
Apple Podcasts,
Apple,
and Google Podcasts.
Google.
Be sure to catch our videos every Wednesday. And I promise you I will not wear another ugly dress that this diva chose.
I think I'm cute.
And let's drink.
Listen, if you are in the Atlanta area, come see me at the Laughing Skull, Detroit. Dana, I'm laying it down. What it do? No.
Negatory.
Okay.
As we say here on Diva Court when we close the show,
Yes.
we'll drink to that. Drink some more. We got to drink to that.